What's up, everybody? Welcome to Small Cap Recap. I am Trader Bryce, and man, the market momentum is continuing. There's not a doubt about that in my mind. I'm actually really excited about the kind of momentum we're getting right now, and I'll get into that in a minute. And I already know you're like, whoa, Bryce, it's Thursday. Why are you filming Small Cap Recap? You never go back to back these days. Well, this day is different. I just had a bunch of extra time today, and normally I don't have a lot of extra time on Thursday. So I was like, you know what, this will be perfect. I know the people want it. We're going to get some really good watches, but again, more importantly, some insight about what is moving and what this reminds me of. I'm really excited. This is going to be a lot of fun. So I don't want to waste too much of your guys' time here. Let's just dig right on into the episode and a bunch of charts. We're going to go over yesterday's charts, kind of see how they played out. And then go over a couple new ones that obviously developed today. But I'm not, before I even get started, I'm just going to say it is so refreshing to see up 100%, pre-market, or at the end of the day, stocks closing up 200% plus. Like, the momentum is back. It's so exciting. Drop a comment down below if you guys are excited to finally see some momentum. I'm sure you guys are all crushing it. Let me know down there in the comments below. But let's get into the charts here. Let's just first of all start by looking at the SPY. We have the S&P 500 here, continuing its fall off a cliff mentality, down 3.5% today. That's scary. Let's do some quick math here. In fact, hold on. I'm putting it to this for a second. We can cut it out if you want. Calculator. Okay. Where are we? All right. Let's do some quick maths in the past. Call it, 416. What did we get down to today? Like 363. 13% roughly, give or take, in the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Like in the past week and a half, the market's down 13%. That's pretty brutal, right? And we're down now, over $120 almost off of highs. That's getting 120 points here. That's a lot. Oh, now I got to do the math again because I am curious. So 360. Again, I'm rounding here. We're down about 25% off of highs. That's a lot. That's a lot. And so, just get ready. This is what's going to create momentum. This looks a lot like right here. We're just gap down after gap down, and now another. If at some point it's going to bottom, but the volume really isn't even increasing yet. We have a lot more room to go in my eyes, but we'll see. I want it to bottom like 340s, 350s, but anything's possible. The economy is not in a great state, but when we get this volatility, we obviously get some momentum. So like I said with AERC yesterday, I want a rest day today. Now we did fall off a cliff a bit. If we can get a gap up into like 19, oh boy, watch out for another third day surge. We have a very clear trend line, right? Very clear here. Needs to re-break through 20s, like the 21, 22 area. Again, this has been a great midday and afternoon mover. So ideally, we can get that gap up into 19, but we might need more time. That would be a good third day surge setup. It might just need more time to consolidate. We are very overextended. This is coming from like $2, right? We get that. So ideally, we'll see, but I would love for it to gap into 19 and just chop for a few days, or even just squeeze out again tomorrow. DRTS, interesting. It didn't really get any volume. This is just looking like a pump and dump at this point. But in terms of the daily chart, it's interesting. Again, I like it, but again, this feels like a pump at this point. This feels like someone's pumping it. I don't know. I have no position. That sketches me out. But it's over this $12 area right now. So again, it just needs volume, but feeling like a pump and dump, so probably an avoid, if I'm being honest. Let's see. CRMA, unfortunately, CMRA kind of ruined. The third day surge happened pre-market, which it is what it is, but it simply happened pre-market. I am reluctant on whether or not this should be a watch, kind of back and forth. Something, again, to keep an eye on. Again, we have a pretty key, like, let's take off this extended hours. Right now, kind of looking like a head and shoulder at this point. But if we can get back over the 460s, even really 450, right? If we can get through this peak right here, 440, I like it. But it needs a little bit of time. It needs to prove itself through that level. I anticipate it might need another day or two of consolidation. Just talking to small cap rockets right now. Yeah, the third day surge aspect was kind of ruined, so now it just needs over that 430 level, in my opinion. Some consolidation there would be great. SIDU, this is setting up for a monster move. I'm not gonna lie. Like this reminds me of, let's see if we can get, I think it was eyes. Maybe not quite. Not quite. It has a very similar feel, though. Actually, more realistically, it reminds me a bit of the. Oh no, see. Right where we had. That's kind of backwards, though. This rest day, though, is what trapped a lot of shorts. It's, I guess, well, that's an interesting daily chart, actually. Don't forget about SIGA. That is a very interesting multi-day chart now that we're just randomly looking at tickers. Through that $12 area, oh boy, get ready. That is nice still. Let's not forget to keep an eye on that. But in terms of this day right here, I'm pointing at my screen like you can see it. This rest day, very similar to today. Let's look at the daily chart. Where you're just getting this that's a big trap. That is a big trap. If it gets over $9 tomorrow, we're probably off to the races. Keep an eye on this bad boy. This is setting up for one more supernova style move. Like, let's see if there's a ticker I know that had a very similar setup to this. Right here, right here. This was the one. Okay, LGVN. Where you had this day you had this massive overextension, but this was a rest day. And then it went crazy. It exploded. It was kind of a third day surge, but this rest day happened so far over day one's highs that I didn't really like it for that third day surge. This is how I like that third day surge, right? Where you get the wild move. So call this day one for your breakout, rest day underneath right here, and then that massive move. So that's kind of, but this is, SIDU is reminding me a lot of LGVN, that type of setup where you get a really monster day one, rest day over highs on day two, and then that push day three. Not quite a third day surge again, but did I just completely, I just replaced it. So let's go back, compare that chart. You see what I'm saying? And better yet, you have a lot of, that I'm not going to say you had some trapped shorts because they probably covered at this point, but SIDU, have a very heavy watch on this tomorrow, guys. If it gets over 9, it's probably because I would like for it to actually open up at like 7, and that would just be the most ideal situation for a monster move. Let's see, does it go back farther? And the only thing is, this is that AERC IPO pump and dump style weirdness. So, it does have previous resistance, I suppose, but the majority is down here. So we're overall levels of major resistance in my eyes. Let's go over to ELMS. This reminds me of the beginning of COVID, when we had sub-dollar listed NASDAQ plays going absolutely bonkers. And this was a really interesting one because it did gap, right? It did gap, but it was a very small gap. It was like, probably what was that, 30, 40% maybe? And I say small, but relatively speaking. And it just did nothing, but it had a little bit of volume. It was almost like the underrated play, and you almost just had a really nice pre-market trend break through like pre-market levels. I mean, right there. Oh gosh, that was just so nice. And I haven't seen these moving so well in a long time, but in terms of percent, it almost moves like an OTC, where you're not getting these halts. You're just getting, I say grind. I say it's a grind up because of how cheap the stock is. This is great. This reminds me of COVID, like during the COVID crash, this is what was moving. And understandably, we're getting that crash style volatility in the market. And we also see that with ACOR. A bit of a bigger gap, you know, I mean, opening up closer to 100%, but just a beautiful dip and rip, right? You have a really nice dip and rip out of the gates. You have this real nice consolidation. You almost have a trend break like right here. And then just, I mean, you have a monster scalp opportunity. This is the vol, and it didn't really do much. Again, keep this on watch tomorrow, but this is that sub-dollar listed. Oh my God, it's just so nice. Yeah, sub view up, rip. I mean, you could even just trade it over that 57-cent high through the dip and rip. Not as good of a risk reward, but you're risking 7 cents, and I mean, you get 20. So it's a beautiful 3-to-1 scalp opportunity. Keep an eye on those style plays. ADN, a bit of a bigger gap. It did have some nice opportunities, a little bit choppier on the intraday. It was, I mean, sure, you got like 3 to 450. That is a nice move, but there are better opportunities out there in my eyes. Now, if you're like me, and for me, don't get me wrong, things like ELMS, ACOR, they're great in terms of percentage, but I just struggle because, you know, you're getting something like ADN trading millions of shares a minute that's at $3 a share, $4 a share, and then you get something that's trading at 55 cents a share. It's a little bit more limited to take size on. I would rather have range. I would rather see that, you know, $3 to, you know, $4 push rather than a percentage move, just because this has more dollar volume. I'm able to take more size. Here, I mean, I can realistically, you know, if I want, let me do the math again, but let's do, like, let's say I entered at 0.56 times. Let's say I wanted to take 50,000 shares. I'm going to struggle, you know, because that's only, I say only, it's only a $28,000 position. I could very realistically, position size wise, get into, like, you know, I was even in AERC the other day, I was in like a $150,000 position. I would be the volume if I did that. So I'm a little limited on things like this. Same story with ELMS. It's just the size wise that I don't love as much. But if you're trading a small account, these sub-dollar listed plays, this is what started. Like, this started my personal growth as a trader during the COVID crash. Like, this is what my bread and butter was. And so if we can get these back, I might not be able to take the size I want to, but they are very consistent, easy to spot opportunities. So I want to take a little bit of time on things like ELMS and ACOR. Really keep an eye out for these sub-dollar listed movers. They are fantastic ways to grow a small account when the OTC market isn't necessarily flaming hot yet. And then that's what I wanted to talk about today. Let me turn my camera back on here. I turned it off because the battery was dying. And obviously we talked about SIGA. Keep a watch on that through 12. Anyways, guys, that's this is a little bit more in depth than yesterday. But again, oh my gosh, I can't stop talking about those sub-dollar listed, you know, NASDAQ plays. They are fantastic opportunities. So when you see those light gaps, guys, get an eye on them early. Look for those trend breaks. The risk reward opportunities are just amazing. You know, they're fantastic. So let me know what you think about this insight down in the comments below, but I'm really excited to see the market back. And yeah, it's just exciting. I might not be able to get to a recap tomorrow. I'm going to be pretty busy. That's why I'm doing this today anyways. But if you guys like, also let me know down in the comments if you liked that. You know, I know we put it out on Sunday. It should have been out on Saturday, and it will be this Saturday. Let me know if you like the full week recap down in the comments below, because I'll do another one if you guys enjoyed that, you know, on the weekend. So you guys know what I'm watching tomorrow. We have AERC for, you know, probably a couple days. DRTS, pump and dump, but it's interesting. I just like watching them. CMRA needs over that 430, 440 level. SIDU setting up for a monster move back over 9. ELMS and ACOR, those I don't know if they'll have day twos. You know, ideally they can. It kind of, you know, they have the potential for a CMRA style day two. So keep an eye on them for tomorrow. ADN, a little bit more choppy, and then SIGA obviously through 12. Those are my watches. I'm really excited. Hopefully you guys are too, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the support. And, you know, join Small Cap Rockets if you haven't already. We're doing more in-depth video lessons on this type of stuff if you want more in-depth learning opportunities. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, especially because I did this on a Thursday for you guys. So, all right, everybody, thank you again. I appreciate the support. I will see you back here on Saturday for that you know, week close style recap if you like it. Whew, I'm done. Peace out, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. Trade safe and trade. I hope you're taking advantage of this market right now. Peace, everybody.
We hope you guys enjoyed that last video. Thanks so much for watching and being a part of the Stocks Trade community. We wouldn't be here without you guys. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Our goal is to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year, but we can't do it without your help. So if you enjoy what we're putting out and want to hear more, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video.